Welcome back to the Canadian Tank Museum in Oshawa, Ontario. We have a special live segment today looking at two incredible new acquisitions to the museum. You may have saw them in 2025, hidden in the corner of the museum. We're about to announce Project 1918. Now, what is that? We have two vehicles here from the Great War, the First World War, 1914 to 1918, both built here in North America and were produced in 1918. That's over 100 years ago. These vehicles were at the beginning of mechanized warfare, the beginning of tanks and all that mechanization that came out in the First World War. We have the American-built M1917 6-ton light tank that was a licensed design of the French Renault FT. And we have the first four-wheel drive military vehicle, the famous NASH QUAD. Now, these were acquired at two different times. You probably have never seen the NASH QUAD if you visited the Canadian Tank Museum, because it was hidden in the back until we were ready for Project 1918. So over the next couple of years, here in the tank bay, we are going to do restoration live in front of the public. So you come in here throughout the week, you come in on a Saturday. Of course, there will be some barriers for your safety and also to protect the artifacts, but you're going to be able to see these vehicles being taken apart and then restored and rebuilt right in front of your eyes. Now, for those of you and our friends and fans from all over the world, don't worry, this is a teaser. We're going to have a special YouTube series being launched probably by the end of this year or early next year, Project 1918. We're also going to open a Patreon for that, so if you really want to support the restoration of these vehicles, the preservation of our military history, and also help us make more content behind the scenes. What is the history of these vehicles? Where do they come from? How are they developed? Where would they have served? What is the history of these two vehicles with the United States Army or with the Canadian Armed Forces? Yes, believe it or not, both of these vehicles do have a history with Canadian troops, both in the First World War and afterwards. Let's have a quick look here at the NASH QUAD. Again, we're talking about the first four-wheel drive military vehicle. If you look really close at the frame, we're in the era of rivets. So this is going to be one of the most ambitious and challenging restoration projects that the Canadian Tank Museum has ever undertaken, to be going back to some lost knowledge. There's things in here that there are no manuals for, that we have to use hand-to-hand knowledge, international partners, other museums, private collectors, to not only gather some of the missing components, but also to give us that historical information on how to maintain these, how to fix these, and in some cases, what tools, maybe these tools don't even exist anymore or unavailable to take this safely apart and put it back together. Interestingly enough, both vehicles use the Buda HD engine, so you're going to see full engine pulls, getting into the engine as they're being taken apart, rebuilt, engine tests, and all of this is going to be in this new series, Project 1918. Now, we made a lot of fanfare about this incredible tank. This is the Canadian Tank Museum's very first World War I armored vehicle. It is only one of 20 M1917s that exist in the world, and one of only 3 in Canada. Now, this is the most complete M1917 in the country. It has its Buda HD engine. It has all of its linkages. It last run under its own power in the 1960s. So it has been chosen as a candidate to become a runner, a piece of living history. So you're going to enjoy the restoration. You're going to meet the veterans, civilians, and other experts that are coming together with all their different varied skills and passion of history to put this thing back together. And you'll see both of these vehicles at the end of Project 1918 roll out of the Military Vehicle Conservation Center under their own power and a special event. It'll be our first ever Tank Saturday based on vehicles of the First World War. So we're incredibly excited. We've brought in special resources and special people in our community to help us not only with the restoration, but with the production of the series that we're going to make. And again, so stay tuned. This is just a teaser. This will be a full new separate YouTube series called Project 1918. And we're not accepting, we are, of course, we always accept any help. We are a charity when it comes to the restoration of the vehicles, but we will be asking our community to follow along, subscribe, and maybe if they're able, subscribe to the Patreon page that we will release with the first video that will allow us to make more content. We're going to have our curator, Sam Richardson, going deep into the history of these vehicles and talking about how they were used by the American forces and the Canadian forces right up into the Second World War. You're going to meet the different characters and individuals in our museum, those people that make the history come to life, the restorers, the experts, the technicians. What makes them tick? What makes them want to give their time, treasure, and talent to keep military history alive? So, once again, just a real sneak peek. Today, this is day one of Project 1918. We have the vehicles all cleared out because we're doing some filming here at the museum. But starting this week, we're slowly going to be taking these things apart and the process of restoration will begin. So, again, it's Jeremy here from the Canadian Tank Museum. I know this is a short live video, but I hope you're as excited as we are about this new amazing restoration project. Going back to the First World War over 100 years ago and making that history come back to life here at the Canadian Tank Museum. I'll see you on the next one.